Hey guys, hope you guys are staying creative and doing your thing. I just tried making a video on the way back from dropping my son off at his girlfriend's house, and my phone kept falling over because I wanted to give you guys a little different scenery, right? At least you could get a backdrop of some landscape going by, maybe we'd see a cow or a mule or something, right? I don't know. But I got a good drink, you know. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your. No, I don't like Folgers. I don't know what the rest of you guys. Anyway, so more and more messages on YouTube about just getting any creative energy. Why is that important? Because eventually you get to your own, where you realize that you are the one responsible for creating your own state of being, and it's not the responsibility of anybody else, right? And if anybody tries to project, let's say, any kind of energy of fear or lack, or they always have assumptions of what you think they think you should be doing, right? And it just kind of rolls off. It's you just stop fighting it, right? And so I kind of want to talk about a movie clip that kept coming up on my feed and I wanted to share it with you guys and let you guys, because I believe that every single one of us have the same view of the future, the same world that we all want to live in. It's identical, and it's something that I think that I wanted to talk about here on Sunday, because I think it's something that we need to remind each other of the reason why we started a YouTube channel or started a tarot card reading channel in the first place. The reason that you pull cards is because you're trying to figure out what the collective needs to know. It has nothing to do with, right? I mean, you're just in service to the group. And so, standing in your power is one thing, but, you have to have empathy for people that are still struggling or not in a state of peace or feel like the world's out to get them, right? We're all a part of one another. And eventually we're going to be living together in a peaceful situation where the rest of the world starts to kind of come apart. I think that's all what we all want, right? The last thing we want is to, just become YouTubers for the next 20 years. I don't think so. I don't want to be a 20-year YouTuber, right? I'm going to continue to create stuff in the background and try and connect with people who have unlocked their own creativity and know how to teach, healing modalities of all types. There's so many of you are teaching so many different types of healing modalities. And you realize that all you have to do is disconnect, stay detached from whatever it is you're looking at, and then create it, right? You can create your own reality, and all you have to do is get somebody's permission. I mean, the last thing you want to do is try and tell somebody, hey, you need to be healed, and I'm here for you, right? I mean, that's a little toxic. Let's face it. People need to ask. At the same time, we can create that for each other and surrender to each other's needs. And as long as we're all doing that for each other, and we learn how to push out toxicity in the group, but be forgiving of anybody and be empathic to make sure that we're just healing it. We don't have to push it out. All we got to do is heal it, right? There's no reason to exclude anybody. Everybody's welcome. Everybody. We're all just choosing different experiences, right? The experience I want is, I think it's the same experience that you want, is to live in a peaceful, heaven on earth type environment where there is no more sickness, there's no more death, where we're in our creative energy every day and we're creating the world that we want to create together, right? So this ending of the clip that I was talking about is the ending of the third Lord of the Rings movie. It's the ending of Return of the King, where Frodo's just had his finger bitten off, and it shows the ring falling into the lava pit, on the thing, and For one thing, Frodo had to be forced to get rid of the Ring of Power. The Ring of Power is seductive, right? If you're in a powerful situation where you can control everything around you, the most difficult thing to do is to let that go. Think about the group collective and have empathy for people that are in positions of power that have corrupt them in some way, right? Because power corrupts, and ultimate power or absolute power corrupts absolutely. I believe that's the way that's written. It's true, because if we were given too much power, then it can corrupt us, right? The last thing you want is to have power over other people. Not only that, but as soon as the ring's destroyed, the Ring of Power is destroyed, the eye of Sauron comes apart. It starts burning and it crashes to the ground, and then as soon as the image, that eye, you can call it an image that's being projected from an eye. It's like a giant third eye chakra when you think about it, because that's what's forcing all the armies of Mordor to fight. Because that's the reason that the groups there, were Gandalf and Aragorn and all the group, are there to give Frodo some time, and so they're fighting the armors of darkness. And the only reason the armies of darkness are dark is because they're receiving an image of conflict in the mind. Think about that one. Only reason that they are fighting is that they've been shown that there's something to fight, and then it's there to fight them. It's not to bring peace. Don't we all want peace in our lives? Why would I feel like I need to, anytime you feel like you need to sell yourself to somebody, you're not going to be in peace. Okay? Ever. And this is why the AI battle is happening, right? It's not there to bring peace. It's there to compete for how you can manipulate someone's emotional state to pull them into whatever it is you're offering. It's a little bit dark. The Eye of Sauron, you should say. The image that is being projected is one of conflict. I'm not conflicted. I know exactly where we're going, and it's together. And those of us that want to come together will continue to work together and come together. Now, if you don't want to come together, then you will feel an increasing pressure on your heart until you do. Let's just put it that way, because the image that you're creating in your mind, if it's an image of conflict, like people are out to get you, or they don't love you, or anything like that, that will continue to work on you. And even on the outside, if it's being projected from somebody who is trying to project that image, because that's the image, that's the way that they see the world. The only way that you're going to heal that image is if you project an image to counteract that. And then let them overcome their own struggles, right? It's like, I'm not against you. I love you. There isn't anything that I want. I want more for you than I want for myself sometimes, because I can, especially when you get to a state of peace for yourself. It's like, all I want for you is to learn how to create your own sense of being and understand that the universe is there for you. It's all for you. It's waiting for you. It loves you. All you got to do is love it. Right? Don't be afraid. So that's the purpose of, first meditation. I'll start doing some more meditations. I'm not going to do it today because I want to work on another project that I got a little bit, but I don't want to. I want to make sure I'm still getting rest. Make sure you guys are staying balanced. Yeah, pretty simple stuff, right? Love one another, do what you're asked, and just stay grounded and spend time in nature. Disconnect from those things that want to pull you into it. That's just not doing you any good, right? And don't pay attention. If you're a YouTuber or a tarot card reader or a healer of any type, just if anybody ever says things negative to you about on your channel, or anything like that, just forgive them. They know not what they do, right? They're just projecting and don't understand that you've found something for yourself that makes you happy. And they just don't have that yet. That's all. Right? So, I mean, I would love to turn this into a group YouTube channel. Can you imagine how popular this would be? I mean, just one YouTuber, Cletus McFarlane. He's connected to so many people. That's why that channel is so popular. Because he openly accepts hey, look, let's work together, build stuff, right? So he's got a group of friends that are, I don't know what kind of business relationship they have, but if you expand your community of creators and start creating together somewhere, you're going to start attracting more abundance than anybody. And if you know how to structure it to where you're all in service to one another and healing and showing people how to heal one another and how to create together, you'll be more successful than... I don't see it yet. Where is it? Where is it on our YouTube channels? Where is it on our networks? Where we show a place where people can go, where there's no more sickness, no more death. Right? Because, like I've said before, I have nothing that I can offer you that you can't offer for yourself. So we might as well just build it together, right? I mean, I could learn so much. I know that I would be just constantly learning. We all would, right? If you pulled a group of people that started expanding like that, it would constantly build itself and restructure itself. As long as people didn't try to fight for control, right? If you're fighting for control, then you are the pimple on the ass of progress. Right? But if you surrender to each other's needs, and that's the reason why we start these channels in the first place, then we can create heaven on earth. We will create. It's not can. We will. And the people that don't want to, it's just because they are afraid. Pure fear. That's it. And then we'll come to an end of an age, and we'll all ascend into various forms of energetic frequencies and floaty, probably mystical creatures. I don't know about you, but I would love to just turn into a giant orange and red fiery phoenix and just fly around like, caw, caw. It's like, what the? Well, like, what medications am I taking? Am I on the right medications? Did I just see that? Right? I mean, I used to have the conversation with people that we used to have a house in Idaho. We sold it last year, and we used to have this conversation with people on the way there. I was like, "So what would you do?" And I've asked this question on my channel before. I would say, "What would you do if a giant portal opened up in the sky right in front of us, and a big pink dragon flew out of it, and then the portal closed, and then the pink dragon flew away, started flying off in the distance? What would you do if you were driving this car?" And I never got the same answer. I mean, here's my answer. And most people just be like, boy, I don't know. They just gotta think about that for a second. And I guess I had when I asked this question, I already know what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull over because, for one, I need to know whether or not you saw what I saw first. That's the number one thing. Because if you didn't see what I saw, you're driving. Because I can't trust whatever it is. I am a little ungrounded, right? But if we both saw it, and did you just see a giant pink dragon fly out of the sky? And if you saw that, then I'm like, okay, let's go. Then I would just keep driving, right? Because you just got to check your own sanity at that point, right? I mean, what else is there? If something happens that is so crazy, you got to make sure that everybody's on the same page. It's like, hey, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Right? I'm sure the people living in Central America probably thought the same thing. They've talked about it, right? Because they didn't see the sailing ships at first when Columbus showed up because they'd never seen it before. So if it's something that you've never seen before in your mind's eye, then yeah. But on all seriousness, apart from turning into mythological creatures, I mean, I think we could be a little more grounded and just go and clear out hospitals of kids that are dying of cancer, right? I think that sounds like a much better idea. And a group that knows how to heal is going to be able to do that a lot better than any one person. Now, that's not to say that any individual couldn't do that. I can do that. You could do that. You just have to believe, right? But in some aspects, people have to understand who you are and have to ask for it at the same time. To know that we can transcend any kind of problem in the body that's causing pain in our children or each other. So I just wanted to send you guys a loving message for Sunday and tell how much I care about you. I think about you all the time. Everybody I've ever known, I think about every single one of you all the time. Sometimes I'll tick through people and I was like, man, I haven't thought about him for a long time. But I think about all of you all the time. All the coaching groups I've been a part of. All the business associates. I always wonder what you guys are working on and what you're doing. YouTubers. It always slays me how what do you guys do? What do you guys' morning routine? What do you guys do during the day? How do you find your peace to make sure that there isn't anything out there or anybody that you interact with to make sure that they could possibly mess with your state of being? We are creators, right? And as soon as we can let go of the image that's being projected of conflict in our environments and project the image of love and group creativity and equality, then we'll have that. But you gotta project it too. You gotta help me. I can't do it by myself, right? I don't want to do it by myself. You guys gotta be on the same page, right? Love you. I'm not putting you on the spot or anything, right? I'm just telling you that, I love you guys so much. So, have a happy Sunday, and I'll catch you later.